Hi everybody, it's your girl Diamond and I'm back with an all-new episode of Housewives of Potomac. Obviously, I'm pretty much already set for tomorrow. I've been late. I've been late for a very important date. I've been gone for this whole week. I'm behind on everything, but I'm trying to get them out so you guys can still see my input on everything. So just bear with me, y'all. Just bear with me. I'm pretty much just going to run through this because everybody's going to say the same thing that I've been saying. So we got the Housewives of Potomac. We're beginning with where we left off at, which was the dinner with Karen and Giselle going back and forth. Ending with Karen calling Giselle the first lady of hell. I was like, ooh. Okay, so in the midst of they're going back and forth, Mia, who wanted to chime in and say, even though I'm new here, I believe that just by looking at her, she has a very good heart. She has a very good character. She's a very good judge of character. In the midst of her saying that, Wendy is like, girl, you just met the girl 5 minutes ago. How can she be a judge of character? Just give it a second. But in the midst of where it came from, I am kind of not mad that she did that. We're going to find out why I wasn't mad. So then we get to the root of the whole Karen versus Giselle. So it started off 4 years ago. I think it was during the second season where Ray told Giselle that, you know what, that pretty face won't last forever. You need to get these men while you can. Giselle said in her confessional, Ray will be 6 feet under before this look fades. Granted, it was shade, but in the way that it took to Karen, she took it as if she was wishing death on him. I don't believe that she did, but in the next joke that she did, that I will be like, Karen, you wasn't wrong. So the fact of the matter is, Robin is asking, why wasn't it addressed then? I'm like, Robin, stop piping in. You gonna get red, just like how you are in a minute. So she's like, my kids were grown. Karen, no, they weren't. 19 and 27, they were not small. They were grown. So for them to be mad about this particular shade that Giselle threw about Ray, I'm not buying it. Not buying that at all. Wendy wants it to be fair. She doesn't want it to be a gang up. And Robin was like, we're not ganging up on her. Yes, you are, Robin. You are ganging up because every time somebody wants to say something about Giselle, you want to pipe in and say, why is that a problem? Why are we talking about this? Why didn't you do this? Stop being her cheerleader. Because when she comes to being with you, she's going to leave you out to dry. Watch. Which is why she wants you to be in the predicament you are now. She doesn't want you to be happy. Good night and goodbye. Robin is confused by Wendy saying that and wanted to be fair. Like just last year, this girl didn't like you. But I felt like Wendy must have took a good look at herself last season. And she's like, I'm not finna be 10 toes down for a group of females I don't even know. Right now, I'm going to see with both eyes and look at both situations and say what it is. So Robin piped down. Karen checks Robin. She said, when is your wedding? Here come Robin, her answer. After COVID? That's never. That's never. Even if the government was to say COVID will end in 2 years, you and Juan will never get married. Let's just go ahead and just point that out. Because then Karen is in a confessional. If y'all just don't want to get married, then just say that. Just say you don't want to. So that way, Juan can take his ring back to the pawn shop. I highly don't want a real diamond. I mean, the Morgan diamond, I wanted one, but I got a diamond anyway, so I'm happy with that. So Robin, good night and goodbye. So then in the midst of that, Wendy trying to calm it down, get everybody else to focus on the meals that the chef's bringing out. Then Wendy reveals she got her ass done. But even though she revealed it on Twitter, but they edited it out. But the fact of the matter is, why did you get so irritated when Wendy asked you? And why did you get so irritated when Mia asked you what else did you get done? Because you said you got your boobs on and some tweets. What other tweets? You got your ass done. Like I said, you were a rectangle. You are one of these blinds. You got one of these. So I'm confused. Why didn't you just admit it? Why are you trying to keep it like a hush-hush? Like, this is my real curves. No, you got it fixed, which is fine. We're not going to do that. So after dinner, Mia exchanged numbers with Robin and Giselle. I wasn't mad because I think in the car, Karen told Mia, you know, I got issues with these people based off of my issues. Don't come on me. Don't follow what I'm doing with them. Try to figure it out for yourselves. Wendy is questioning Mia's loyalty. I'm like, wow, Wendy, you are the advocate for loyalty? Okay. You are the advocate for loyalty. I got it. Cool. So then we get introduced to Mia. You know, we didn't really get much introduction because that was the first episode. So now we're in the second episode. Introduced to Mia. She's a business mogul. Her and her husband own we're in the penthouse, 37 square foot, off of the Baltimore Harbor. Her husband Gordon, they met in 2013. She got 3 kids, 1 from a previous marriage and 2 from the husband that she has now. They own 14 chiropractic joint locations. Chiropractic locations in 4 different states. Her husband is now taking a stay-at-home dad role, which he loves, and she's now being the CEO and running the business, and she loves it. Now, in the midst of that, her daughter wants her to help her make cupcakes. Want mommy's attention. Mommy, 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 mommy. I hear it all the time. Knowing that dad is perfectly capable of helping you, but you want mommy's help. I get it. He didn't like that she took a business call, but I wrote she's a multitasker. As women, we tend to multitask. Try to give as much as we can to the other person. It don't mean to be like we're looking at it differently or we're looking at it better, we're looking at it more importantly. It's just what be happening. So I was like, you managed to take a business call, but it would have been different if you took a business call while the kids were reaching your attention. You would have ignored them and went the other way. But she's trying to be engaging in her daughter's, face and trying to do this. But I'm like 2 and 2. I get it. Business calls on business hours. Family time is family time. I get it. I didn't like what he said. So then, the daughter ends up getting a temper tantrum because the daddy said there's no more sprinkles. So she runs. The mom pretty much said, hey, it's okay. We're going to fix it, okay? Okay. My son. That's my son. That's all I'm saying. So we got to Candace. I was confused when I see a child walk in and say, Mommy, Mommy. I'm like, who Mommy? Candace, your mommy? Only a bonus mom, but who Mommy? So she's on the set. Shooting for a pilot. I'm like, okay, go Candace. To be honest, I didn't know that Candace did other movies besides that BET Christmas movie that she did and episodes of Family Reunion with Kenya Moore, Brandy Glanville, obviously, with the main stars, Tia Mowry, Loretta Devine, and the rest of them. I didn't see the other one that she did. So she's looking at it as if, like, I'm not afraid to go after my dreams. I can do this. And I'm happy. I didn't hear her new song yet, but I'm going to. So the role that she's playing is she's playing a new wife in a blended family of ex-wives and kids. Basically, her life. So she's like trying to go with the flow because she's also doing that, working in the studio for her album, and also getting her second master's. That's a lot. That's a lot. So she's overworked. So she calls Candace. No, she calls Chris. Chris is with the kids at the park, and of course Chris is also her manager. He's her husbander. And he doesn't manage Candace's career. He manages Candace. Pretty he checks Candace for her attitude because she tends to go off the handle. But Chris has his moves too. So they both check each other. We're going to see how this works out. So now we get into Ashley. She's doing, child time, kid time, school time with baby Dean. His grandma comes to his grandma drops by. So apparently, since the last situation where Michael cheated, God, I'm moving. I don't like that. Her and Michael have gotten to a better place because they're forgiving, talking to each other more better, more, respectfully. And, turns out she feels like Dean is the glue that brings everybody together because she likes how Dean's with Michael, Michael's with his grandma, and everybody's happy. So she likes that. She's also happy that she's looking to a nanny. She didn't think about the nanny because she felt like Michael was going to step up to help. But now, since she's about to have 2 kids under the age of 5, they're about to be a year apart. So she's going to need the help when Michael is slacking, obviously. So, but of course, it's the whole stigma of, will Michael be attracted to the new nanny? Michael will pretty much have sex with anything. It doesn't matter if it's old, young, an object, an animal. I don't care. This is Michael. He's gross. He's king of the goblins. I don't like him. So she's happy that she can get help, but I don't know why you wouldn't get help. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, Michael is an absentee parent, obviously. You saw how he was last season. Anytime you need to go somewhere, he made certain that you take the child with you. I'm not caring for him. I got shit to do, which is nothing. So you take him with you. I guess she doesn't want to burden her mom, even though her mom has other kids as well. So I'm completely understanding of that, but I'm happy. I'm happy that she's looking to get help whenever she needs help. That's all you need. Every mother needs help. Ashley is trying to keep Michael sexually satisfied. I was like, give me a bucket so I can throw up. Give me a bucket. I do not want to hear about how Ashley is using every single hole that she has to keep Michael satisfied. As if the one hole that you thought that got you pregnant would keep him satisfied. It wasn't. I was just nasty. I was grossed out. Next, back to Giselle. She's talking about her barn. She got the West Wing. Took 2 years to finish. Okay. Robin is confused as to why, the inside does not match the outside. I'm in agreement to that. The only thing I like was her bedroom. I mean, the gold Versace and the gold LeMay everywhere. I liked it. So then, of course, she's talking about christening the wing. She's talking about christening the West Wing. That's my daughter. Christening the West Wing. I'm like, ain't nobody in that bed. Ain't nobody christening that bed but you and your vibrator. Or Robin. I don't know. Anybody in that bed. So, at the end of the day, pretty much Giselle admitted that throughout the times that her and Jamal was trying to reconcile, he was in the phone. So I'm like, so Karen was right. He lives in your phone. Because what man, in the way that y'all filmed last season, I was pretty sure this man would have been able to see you, spend time with you. All we got was you driving him up to the airport and the boat ride for your birthday. That's all we saw. So I'm like, girl, good night and goodbye. Even Robin was asked, did she believe that the reconciliation between Giselle and Jamal? She said no. I think that since the pandemic kept them so apart, that made it more comfortable for them to not engage so closely. And she was also confused as to why would they be back together. There was no love there, so it wouldn't be surprised if you guys are having problems getting reconnected now. Y'all been divorced all this time. Y'all been separate all this time. Y'all haven't tried to come within and close of each other to be like your lovey-dovey. So y'all, it was a storyline, Robin. You don't want to say it. There was no love there. There was no romance there. There was no chemistry. Robin's gonna tell it like it is, but she will still get read anyway for condoning it and not telling your friend straight up. Rob, Giselle, you in a delusion. I'm going back to how it was at the beginning of when the season first started. Giselle, you pretty much painted the picture that your mom was a cheater, pumpkin eater. I don't want nothing to do with him. So the fact is, of what you said on the show painted what we felt about Jamal. It's the same way how you feel about it now because of what you said. Nobody else won that narrative about Jamal but you, from what you dealt with. Girl, good night. Then, of course, they were not in love. Not at all. So then they call Candace and fills her in about everything. Giselle wants an apology. You're not going to get one. You're not going to get one. Then in the midst of that, she's talking about their tax problems again. Get over it. Did your friend pay her taxes? The dumbass who wanted to be her own accountant and fucked up and still owed $30,000 in taxes. Did she pay it? She probably did. So shut up, Giselle. Robin's a follower. Yeah, why she keep bringing up one? Because you had to speak up for your friend who didn't need help defending. You did not need to defend Giselle in that moment. She could have evidently defended for herself, but you wanted to, and you got your ass read. It's so easy to read you, Robin. It really is. Girl, one is not gonna marry you. Then of course you're talking about how Ray will be in the grave before Karen could buy another house. Again, like I said in the beginning, the first shade she threw 4 years ago. Okay, this time I'm not with it. I'm not for nobody speaking death on nobody, playful or not, shade or not. I'm not down for you saying that stuff. Shut the fuck up, Giselle. Just shut up. God, just shut up too. Ugh. Lord have mercy. So we get to Karen. Karen is trying to clean up, fix the bed. She wanted Ray to help fix the bed. Then of course the cameraman zoomed in on her special pillow, her masturbate pillow. So Karen talks to Ray. She feels like what she said to Giselle was a little bit overboard. I'm like, no, it wasn't. What you said was absolutely right, was absolutely in the moment, was just what we needed for Giselle to look stupid, that stupid ass face on her, look on her face when she gets called out like she's having a hard time swallowing that thick ass neck of hers. So then of course she felt like after the divorce Giselle was broken. Hence why the whole comment that she made, and she was like, she needs to direct that to her man, her not man, so we say, because he made like a fool once again. Check it out with that. He humiliates you again, leaves you high and dry the entire season, especially at the reunion, high and dry. So then of course Karen wants to have a love party. In a way it was shade towards the couples, because as far as like the couples thing, we know what it was. So basically, she wants to have a Valentine's Day party to show love, and she wants Giselle to feel loved, and love will be there at the end of the tunnel. And like, okay, so Karen, shade all you want to. Just be honest with me. That's what I'm saying. So now we get to Wendy. She's having a family dinner with her mom, her sister, and her brother. And she expressed her love for being Nigerian and loving the food, but of course she doesn't want to give it to her friends because it's too spicy. I believe I had Nigerian food. It has a little bit of a kick, but I love it though. So then, of course, the mom is all about talking about she's loving, Wendy's plastic surgery that she got for her breasts, and now she's like, my boobs are flapjacks. I want y'all to give me new boobs and pay for it. I'm gonna give y'all to December. I'm like, first of all, how are you gonna give somebody else a date for something that you want them to pay for? Because then Wendy was like, it's so funny how my mom was so mad about changing my career and how long it took me to get here. But when it comes to plastic surgery, oh yes, I have no problem spending money on that. My money that it took for me to get. Okay. So, I'm like, okay. So then, of course, at the end of the dinner, Wendy talks about creating an essentials line, a home essentials line, a candle line. I love the boxing. I love the writing. I love that it reflects her culture. It surprises me that Wendy wants to be a part of this area of home essentials line. Listen, I'm not mad at it at all. My mom makes soaps, handmade soaps, very good soaps for your body, for your hair, eczema, all that, and then some. So DIY objects, DIY, materials. I don't know why I spaced on that word, but home decor and body oils, diffusers, essential oils, candles, all that and then some. I love that stuff. So I'm not mad, and I'm not saying that it's not original, but it does seem like a bit of a shift change from Wendy to want to be a part of it, because to me, she always looks at the person who's thought about, if you have a degree, you're worth talking to. So the fact that she's talking about candles, it's a different spin than what she's trying to show. And I'm like, okay, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. I'm really not. So the mom is supportive. She's proud of her. So the only person who's concerned is Eddie. She thinks that Eddie doesn't think she's taking it seriously. Like she's just doing it for the hype of it. Just to say that she wants to be a part of something else, to be included. Trust me, I've done it. So of course she's like, is her motivation real? Because she says she's already put some money down for it, but she needs the whole enchilada to put more into it so she can, move forward ahead. I'm like, all right. So then we're back to Ashley. Ashley calls her doula, talking about her placenta, about what they're going to do to it. They're going to transport it to this lab where she can get it transferred to pills. She can bring her hormone energy, her hormone levels up, so she cannot be so down because she's on postpartum again. So then Karen said, I've given birth twice. Actually, I've never seen my placenta and said hello to it. I don't remember. I felt it coming out. I would say after my daughter, I felt the placenta coming out that time. But I've never seen it. And I don't think I want to see it, nor do I want to taste it. Don't want to. That's a pound. Nope. Don't want to. Blech, blech. So then Karen is inviting Ashley to the love party. She sends her pretty much an invitation full of chocolates, for Rocher chocolates. And then of course she's also saying, you know what? Since I'm inviting you, Mike was more than welcome to come into our home. Because she said in the confessional, if I want to move forward with Ashley, I have to make some room to be nice and cordial around Mike. That's big of her. But I think Ashley's in a place where she just don't care. Just respect my marriage and know something about it, but I would be glad to show business if he's not going. So, yeah. But then, of course, the whole Sing comment, she feels bad because she says she didn't know where it came from. She just thought it just connected with the whole hot box situation. And I'm like, Ashley said, you said some pretty things. What do you know about Giselle that we don't? She said, I didn't even know it was a prison. I just said because it made sense until the whole reading of it. Okay. So Dean wakes up. Dean is looking all sleepy and irritated. Meet new people. He don't like it. That's what babies do. When babies tend to get a feel about somebody, they don't fool with you until they want to. I'm all about it. So Karen leaves. All the invites are being sent out. Candace is still feeling some type of way. Because of what happened last season. A part of me, it's like, I get you want to move forward, Candace, but what I want you to do is take accountability of what led to Karen feeling that way. Because she couldn't just drop Monique like a bad habit because you and her got into a fight. Like I said in my last video, that was a one-on-one fight with two people engaged in an argument that led to them going to blows, okay? Your mouth, Monique's hand, boom. So the whole betrayal, the whole knife in my back, I'm like, okay. That's the one thing you wanted her to do, was to drop it and say Monique was a monster. Not gonna happen. And I get it moving forward. I feel like I can be safe with you. I can trust you. I can get that. Giselle throws those invites away. I'm like, I hope you didn't throw away the candy. You could throw the box, but don't away the candy. Because you knew you was going to, okay. Robin, following behind Giselle. Juana's like, we ain't going to that shit. I'm like, you wasn't going to go anywhere. When's the last time we went to something with Robin as a couple? When? I don't know when you came. So she followed behind Giselle, tossed the invite in the trash. So then, of course, we were back to part of a small snippet of Giselle. She orders dinner. Obviously can't cook. So then, of course, we're talking about Grace getting her permit. I hate that damn test. I hate that test so much. They should just say, just get behind the wheel and drive. Why we gotta do all these tests? Hate it. So then we're talking about boys and colleges. The girls like, I can date wherever I want. But then Giselle wants me like, okay, let's talk about who you cannot date. Talks about a story how she dated a drug dealer. Oh no, a gangster. Just Grace was like, so did you do drive-bys with him? She's like, no. Okay. No rappers, no athletes. She said those are the best ones. I just feel like, you know what, you can't just hide something from somebody. You know, you can't just, you know. So she's like, oh my God, really? So she's like, you know, in relationships, an issue that comes up, Giselle does not like to talk about it. With her kids, yes. Other people, no. Her taste statement is trash, and she needs to fix it. Them girls are smart. I don't know why you didn't listen to your girls last season when they knew the whole shit with Jamal wasn't real. They're not dumb. They're not 10, 16, 15. They know. They're not stupid. So we get to the party. Mia and Gordon arrives first. They meet Ray. Karen wasn't let his hair go. When they showed that picture with Ray like with his hair bald, I died. I'm like, that's funny. That's so funny right there. That's nice. That's so funny. I wouldn't even know what to do with that. To be honest, I wouldn't even know. Gordon had 3 wives, and he's from North Carolina, so she's a 4th wife. I'm like, what was happening there in that situation? What was happening there? Mia Shay Giselle basically saying, you know, oh yeah, Wendy and Eddie arrives. Why am I spacing? Mia Shay Giselle, like, of course, you know, because you're a boss, and this is a couple's party. Ashley comes without Michael. I know she wouldn't. Ashley could not be seen. So Candace and Chris arrive. She still feels backstabbed, but of course, Karen invites her out for like a lunch, tea, so they can start fresh, start small. Nothing too heavy, nothing too big. Candace said, okay, I can show you a tour of my new home. Small things. Getting. You know what I'm saying? Ashley is just eating at the point. She's about 10 days alone, or a whole 5 days, 4 days alone. She's just eating until the baby like comes out. I don't care. She eats up the spice just to get that baby to come out. Let's get that baby to come out. So Mia had C-sections prior to her baby. So the whole thing about getting her clit redid, that's where Ashley was concerned. Then Wendy turned around and said, oh wait, how old are you again? Oh, that's why the C-section. I feel like, is Wendy shading her age about the C-sections? I've known a couple of women that have had C-sections and they're younger than me. It all depends on what your body can handle giving birth. It doesn't matter what age you are. If you're 22 and your body is not able to push a kid naturally, a C-section is implemented. Your age has nothing to do with it. To me, that's how I looked at it. So apparently she got her clit done because her and her husband get it in a little too much. He pounds it apparently. Wendy is pressed. I'm finna say the entire time, Wendy is pressed. Mia wasn't aware of Giselle, and if she vibed with Giselle, Mia was aware that she vibed with Giselle, she vibes with Giselle on her own terms. It's not to like, you know, take it off the back of Karen's back, because Wendy was like, how could you, if we're talking about her good such a character about what she said about her husband, how could they see she's such a character when you don't know him 5 minutes ago? I'm like, you know what, you're right. That is true. I caught that, but I didn't look at it as Mia being flip-floppy. I looked at it as Mia trying to like lighten the mood, which what she's gonna say. So Candace questioned the comment, who was death with somebody, as if you didn't do. Candace playing, I don't want to talk about it. So that changed Mia's perspective. Wendy noticed it. Questionable, like, are you really about this, or are you just a pretty face? So Mia thought that, asking for the number because Wendy wanted to call her out for the number, I thought that would lighten the mood because of what you would have done because it was in your house. Wendy said, you know what? We're not going to do this. Don't do that. because, it was her home. As she said, I would still give my friend the benefit of the doubt when someone says something, so I wouldn't have hopped onto somebody else's character, which I don't know. So, stood up for that. And then, of course, she said, Mia wants to know, if Candace having a problem, then why do y'all do? So then Giselle was like, wait, why am I saying it? Oh. And then, like, why are you questioning it? Wendy gets snippy and said that Mia thinks she's coming for her. Baby, I'm not coming for you. So Mia was like at that level with Wendy. She said, I'm not coming for you if you know that you've listened. And Mia was like, okay, well, if you think that, what's up? She said, don't put your finger in my face. She said, if it is, what are you going to do, babe? Because at the same point, she thinks she was being rude. I feel like, Wendy, you being a little bit too hostile with her. And I'm like, Wendy has been out of shape and she thinks she's insecure. Which I'm a little bit seeing that. I'm a little bit seeing that. So I'm not going to be like, okay. So we get to the end of the episode where they all play the newlywed game. About who met who. I wrote a lot. I'm trying to like speed this up because my daughter's getting a little bit irritable. So she was the host. Oh, come on. Alright, y'all. I'm trying to hurry up. Alright, so we get to the newlywed game and they're talking about how they all met and what their favorite position was, and if your husband was attracted to one lady in the group, who would it be? So favorite sex positions, the Gordon, which is Mia and Gordon. Missionary, I would think they do all types since they had to get in. Okay. Wendy and Eddie, doggy style, of course. The Ray and Karen on top, reverse cowgirl, and Hugers, he likes her on top. So then, of course, when the whole came down to the whole craziest place we've had sex, me and Gordon had the Waffle House. I was like, oh, the Waffle House, the bathroom. Wendy and Eddie, the park. Karen and Ray, they had it on the kitchen counter, the kitchen floor. Where did I'm like, Chris and Candace, where was that at? Oh, the hotel balcony. They went somewhere. They had a hotel balcony. So now we get to the whole, if you was attracted, who would it be? Ray said Mia and Katie. I'm like, Katie? Really? Okay. Okay, Mia, okay. Why am I blanking? Mia said Karen. Who did? Oh yeah. Candace said Giselle and Mia. Then we get down to Wendy and Eddie. At this point, Wendy is checking Eddie on what he should and should not write. Because I felt like that wasn't fair that y'all couldn't play the game. This was a fun game. Everybody's having a good time. Why couldn't you play the game? So when it came down to them, they wrote non-applicable, none. I'm like, girl, come on, y'all could have played the game. Wasn't that serious? Because I think he wrote Mia and she didn't like that. Mia caught it. I'm like, okay, ass. Okay, Wendy. Okay. So, Wendy coached him. She thinks Wendy calls us an insecure wife. And then, of course, it was the last question of meet your spouse. The most answer that the people was really like focused on was where Gordon met Mia. Mia was working at a strip club as a bartender where she met Gordon. Everybody was like, a bartender? Girl, he was a stripper. We know he was a stripper. It's okay. It's okay if you're a stripper. It's okay. We're not gonna say nothing. But it wasn't like, ooh, you a stripper? No, it was like, okay, girl, because I was, Ashley. So Ashley did the things she did, so we wasn't gonna do that. But at the end of the day, the end of this episode was really, really funny and really, really good. It was just so funny. So now I'm just like, is Wendy gonna get mad about everything that Mia says? Like, I don't know. The first episode, she did not like Mia for whatever reason. I don't know what it was. It wasn't her credentials. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how she's looking down on Mia, but I don't like that. And everything that she's saying, Wendy has a problem, but I don't know how. But on stem of how you wanted to back Karen for how Mia is moving. But like I said, I didn't find Mia being a little bit fake. I just felt like Mia was probably trying to fit in with the group. So she's trying to like sway what she can to get pretty much any camera time or any opinion about how she's feeling about the new girls. So And at the end of the day, Karen said, feel free to move how you move, to get to know folks on your own time, in your own way. Don't focus on my issues. So I'm a little bit like irritable how Wendy is still showing her ass in the way that she showed it last season. But I'm still trying to give her a little bit more leeway to understand where it's coming from. But that's it, y'all. That's all I got. I'm so sorry this video was so late, but please don't forget to like and comment, subscribe to my channel if you like my content. I'll see y'all later. Bye.